Hello, everyone, and thank you for visiting my channel. Today, I want to talk about why and how expats perceive ingratitude in relations with Filipinas, how it affects them in the short term as well as the long term. Stay tuned. Cross cultural relationships can be deeply rewarding, but they also come with complex emotional undercurrents. Many expats who form romantic relationships with Filipinas often do so with hopes of finding love, companionship, and mutual respect. Some go to great lengths, leaving behind their home countries, careers, and comfort zones to start fresh in the Philippines or to provide a better life for their Filipino partners. Others make significant financial investments in their partners' extended families as well, covering everything from everyday expenses to housing, schooling, and medical emergencies. Yet, despite all these efforts, some expats report feeling underappreciated or worse, used. They speak of the emotional toll of giving and giving, only to receive what they see as manipulation, entitlement, or indifference in return. For many Western men, especially retirees or digital nomads, moving to the Philippines isn't just a vacation or a business move. It's often a personal life change. Moving hundreds of miles across the world isn't rarely a quick decision, especially when love is involved. Usually, the expat meets a Filipina online or during a visit to the country. Charmed by her warmth, family values, and charm, he starts a long distance relationship. Over time, he might visit often, bring her to his country, or even settle permanently in the Philippines. This journey requires not only time and effort, but also emotional vulnerability and hope. In many cases, the expat thinks he is saving a significant other from hardship or poverty. Although it isn't always vocalized, many of these expats have a savior complex in their minds. They consider their financial assistance to be a significant gift and an expression of devotion and affection. When that gesture is not reciprocated emotionally, or worse, is taken for granted, it can be devastating. A major disagreement often centers around money. Expats, especially from Western countries, usually come from backgrounds where hard work leads to financial gain and where generosity is valued. Early in the relationship, the expat often starts paying for the Filipinos' expenses, including food, rent, mobile phone loads, sibling school fees, and sometimes larger items like a house or motorcycle. This is particularly true if he is expected to support his Filipino partner's extended family as well. The costs can quickly add up. Over time, the expat might notice that instead of receiving gratitude or emotional closeness, his efforts are met with little reaction or even expectation. This can lead to the perception of ingratitude taking hold. Cultural misunderstandings often influence how ingratitude is perceived. In Western cultures, people tend to openly show appreciation through thank yous, hugs, and notes. Filipinos, though warm and caring, do not always express thanks in the way Westerners might expect. Receiving help from a man may be seen by many Filipinas, especially those from lower income families, as part of his duty in the relationship. According to traditional Filipino society, men are generally expected to provide for their families. As a result, a Filipina might not see financial support as extraordinary. Rather, it is viewed as normal for a partner. Tensions can arise when the expat's desire for emotional validation and direct acknowledgement clashes with this cultural norm. Additionally, many Filipinas express their appreciation non-verbally by preparing meals, doing household chores, or sometimes showing physical affection. The expat may feel unappreciated if he does not recognize these actions as signs of gratitude. Another factor is the Filipino family structure. In the Philippines, family means everything, and family duties often extend to aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and more. A Filipina often asks her foreign partner for financial help to support her entire family. A few thousand pesos may seem like a small request, but it can become a regular obligation. Over time, this can turn into an unspoken but constant expectation. To the expat, it might feel like freeloading or exploitation, especially if he gets little appreciation or long term financial planning in return. He might start to wonder, am I just an ATM? The more he gives without acknowledgement, the more resentment grows. If the relationship is already fragile, he may begin to think that love was never real, that he was just a means to an end. Sometimes, regrettably, entitlement does show up. Not all relationships are built on love, some are transactional. A small percentage of Filipinas view expats as financial stepping stones or as a means of escaping poverty. By claiming love, loyalty, and a desire for a future together, these women are frequently quite good at playing on emotions early in the relationship. But once the financial help begins flowing, their behavior changes. They may become cold, distant, and demanding. If confronted, they may use guilt, emotional blackmail, or even threats to maintain control. For the expat, the emotional whiplash of going from being cherished to being treated like a burden is deeply painful. This is where feelings of being used and a perception of ungratefulness becomes most pronounced. In healthy relationships, both partners make sacrifices. But when the expat feels like he's doing all the giving, emotionally, financially, and logistically, while his partner makes little effort in showing emotional support or respect, resentment is inevitable. Take this example into consideration. An expat sells his home in the West, relocates to the Philippines, and constructs a home for his Filipina and her family. He covers her parents' medical expenses and her siblings' schooling. He gives up his social circle, his lifestyle, and his healthcare safety net. In return, his partner continues to behave as if nothing is special about these sacrifices. She doesn't show interest in his emotional well being, makes no effort to improve herself, and spends extravagantly. This kind of imbalance can quickly turn love into bitterness. He may begin to ask himself, "What am I doing all this for?" The answer, if unclear, only deepens the feeling of being unappreciated. Filipino culture tends to be non confrontational. Many Filipinas are indoctrinated from an early age to suppress their emotions, avoid conflict, and refrain from arguing. With Western expats, who are frequently more direct, this results in a significant communication gap. Instead of having an open conversation, an expat who expresses unhappiness may be addressed with silence, denial, or passive behavior. This avoidance can be quite annoying, and the expat may come to believe that his partner is either hiding something or doesn't care at all. Moreover, Filipinas who feel guilty or overwhelmed by the expat's sacrifices may shut down emotionally. Instead of showing gratitude, they withdraw, which only worsens the perception of ingratitude. Social media makes the problem worse. Many Filipinas are active on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, particularly the younger ones. It can be hurtful for an expat to witness his girlfriend frequently sharing photographs, showing off presents, or conversing with other men while hardly ever publicly recognizing him. He might wonder why she's not showing appreciation online. Is she hiding the relationship? Is she embarrassed by him? Is she ungrateful? Or is she just trying to keep her options open? These doubts can fester, especially if the expat sees himself as someone who gave up everything for her. The sense of betrayal grows stronger the more his sacrifices are ignored both online and offline. Some Filipinas may show gratitude, but only when they want something. When expenses are due, when she wants a new phone, or when she needs aid with her cousin, the expat starts to see a pattern. Tenderness and affection rise. However, the warmth vanishes as soon as the money is sent. This dynamic of pay to play is emotionally draining and leads to mistrust. The expat might begin to feel more like he is in a business deal than a romantic one. This type of conditional affection undermines a relationship's basis of trust and comes out as more manipulative than appreciative. To avoid falling into a trap of perceived ingratitude, expats need to approach their relationships with clear boundaries, communication, and cultural awareness. Set financial limits early in the relationship. Discuss roles, duties, and expectations in an open manner. Red flags like abrupt demands, excessive secrecy, or emotional coldness should be taken seriously. Instead of her relying solely on you, you can assist her in becoming more financially independent, like helping her launch a small business in order to foster progress on both sides. Keep an open eye out for non material indicators of love, such as how she handles you, attends to your needs, and acts when she doesn't get her way. The perception of ingratitude in expat Filipino relationships is a deeply entrenched and emotional fraught issue. It usually results from a deep conflict between cultural norms, varying expectations, economic realities, and communication methods rather than from simple malice. After making large financial, emotional, and personal sacrifice investments, expats frequently demand a degree and kind of thanks that is not always consistent with Filipino traditional displays of gratitude or the intricate web of familial responsibilities. To mitigate this perception, expats need to educate themselves thoroughly on Filipino culture, particularly the concepts of utang na loob, family responsibility, and indirect communication. They need to adjust their expectations, realizing that even while their generosity is valued, it can be perceived differently by those from a different cultural background. It would be nice if Filipinos comprehend the emotional significance of an expat's sacrifices and the Western idea of expressing appreciation, but that is far and in between. Most of them feel that there is nothing wrong with how their culture perceives relationships, and that you, as a foreigner, must adapt to their culture instead, which for most expats is easier said than done. All right, guys, that is all for today's show. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good day.